Hello everyone, myself Saraswati, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering, MIT, Mysore. In this session, I will be teaching you the two concepts called as communication and coordination. Let us have a look into each one of them in detail. First, I will be starting with communication. What is the meaning of communication? That is nothing but interaction between any two people is going to be called as communication, or else we can also define communication as it is a process of giving, receiving, exchanging information or the ideas between the people who will be working in the organization. So whenever a communication is going to happen between the people, so it is going to help them to understand what other person is saying, right? So this is about the meaning of communication. Every organization entrepreneur wants to improve their communication skills because they have to interact with the staff members or other superiors within the organization, and also they need to communicate the ideas they will be having in order to set the objectives of the organization. Henceforth, every entrepreneur in any of the organization has to improve his or her communication skills. So looking into variety of communication, so communication in any organization can be classified into different types. So we can say there are different types of communication which is going to be used in the organization. So what are they? First one is vertical communication. Horizontal communication. Verbal communication, non-verbal communication, next is formal communication, and informal communication. Let us have a look into each one of them. What is vertical communication? So here in this vertical communication, they are going to use two different types. One is called as downward communication and another one is called as upward communication. Downward communication in any of the organization is going to happen where the superior is going to communicate with the subordinates. So in any organization, either they are going to maintain the horizontal or vertical structure. When it comes to the vertical structure, at the top there is going to be the top level management, followed by the middle level management, followed by the lower level management. Below that lower level management, we can see there will be employees who will also be called as subordinates. In order to have a communication from the superior to the subordinates, downward communication is going to be followed in any of the organization. When the top level management is going to decide the plans policies, regulations which needs to be followed by the employees, it is going to get communicated to the middle level management. So in turn, the middle level management is going to convey what has been planned by the top level management to the lower level management, and this is again conveyed to the lower level employees or the subordinates in general, we can say. So in downward communication, it is going to happen from top level management to lower level management. So this is how the communication is going to happen in any of the organization. So it is going to follow the hierarchical structure in order to have a downward communication. Then what is this upward communication? So when the communication is going to happen from the subordinate side and it has to reach the superiors at the topmost level management, then we are going to call it as a upward communication. So when the employees is finding difficulties in order to execute the task which has been assigned to them, or if they are finding any kind of problems or grievances that need to be told to the higher authority, so this type of communication is going to be used. And also whatever the topic they want to discuss in the meetings can be conveyed by the subordinates to the superior level of the management in any organization. So this type of communication is going to be called as upward communication. Moving further, next one is horizontal communication. It is a communication which is going to happen between the same level superiors or managers within the organization. When for example, we can take up when we are going to think about the managerial level, there are different departments in the organization. All the departments is going to have one manager. So every manager has to communicate with every other department manager in order to achieve the goal of the organization. For example, HR department manager has to communicate with finance department manager or with the production department manager or any other department in order to understand how many employees are required or need to be hired and what are the qualifications and what are the different types of posts which needs to be filled up in each and every department. In order to get this kind of information, the manager of HR department, that is nothing but human resource department, in order to make the recruitment and selection of employees to different departments, they need to have a communication with every other department. So this type of communication is going to be called as horizontal communication. Next, verbal communication. So when we are going to think about the verbal communication, so here also we are going to have two different types of communication. One is called as oral communication and another one is called as written communication. Oral communication is going to happen between the speaker and the listener. When they want to have face-to-face interaction, the speaker is going to communicate with the listener. If it is not possible to have a face-to-face interaction between the speaker and the listener, then the speaker may use the intercom or the telephone where he can communicate whatever he want to communicate to the listener. So here the listener not only going to understand what has been communicated by the speaker to them, but also they can observe the pitch, tone, volume of the speaker in order to identify how that communicated, means whatever the things that has been communicated by the speaker is going to have an impact on the listener, right? So this is about the oral communication. When it comes to written communication, this type of communication is also going to be followed in the organization in the form of reports. It could be the annual report of the organization, it could be the instructions in order to carry out the task from the manager to the subordinates or something else. It can be in the written format. This is called as the written communication. Then what is non-verbal communication? So it is going to take the form of body language. When we are going to communicate with any other person, we may use handshaking method, or we may nod the head, or we may wink the eye, right? So these are different types of body language that can be used while communicating with any other person. These kind of symbols or the body language is going to be referred as non-verbal communication. Then what is formal communication? So this is one of the type which is going to be used in the organization. So here they are going to make use of official channel in order to have a communication. So it can be recorded and filed in the office file. Then the last one is informal communication. So where here they are not going to follow any type of official channel in order to have a communication within the organization with any person, irrespective of different levels of management which is going to be maintained in the organization. It includes some kind of gossips which is going to be spread in the organization. So here it is very difficult to find out who is spreading the rumors about the organization and all, but it definitely going to affect the employees who will be working in the organization, maybe while working for a particular task which has been assigned to them, or in order to get motivated and do better perform. These kind of gossips may affect. Let us have a look into the next topic called as importance of communication. So it is very important that communication should be very effective within the organization when any superior wants to get the work done from the subordinates. They have to just give the information how to take the task, or what is the procedure which needs to be followed in order to complete the task within the given deadline to any of the employees. Effective communication is going to play a very important role, as the entrepreneur has to give the complete information regarding his own ideas, or when he wants to communicate with the staff members or peers within the organization. Some of the importance of communication includes motivation. Communication helps to motivate the employees who will be working in the organization. When the motivation means when the superior is going to motivate the employees in different means, then it helps the employees to perform better in the task which they are currently performing, and also they are going to improve their performance for the next task which is going to be assigned to them in future. So communication, when there will be a proper communication between the manager and the subordinates, it is going to definitely motivate the employees to give effective performance and complete the task within the deadline. Communication definitely helps to take up the decision in the organization. So here the top level management can decide what are the rules and regulations that has to be followed by each and every employees within the organization by communicating with their legal advisor or with their the peers in that particular level. So when the manager is going to expect the task which needs to be completed by the subordinates, so here they have to communicate the procedure and the method which needs to be followed to complete the task. Not only that, whatever the problems which might be facing by the employees in order to perform the task, so that can also be communicated with the manager, so that it is going to help to find the solution for any kind of difficulties which is going to arise while doing the job. So henceforth, it helps the manager to take up the decision clearly what is the proper method that has to be taken by considering all the pros and cons of a particular task. So when the decision has been made by the manager, it can also be conveyed to all the subordinates and also superiors and also to their same level employees within the organization, in order to have a transparency about the decision made by the manager of any department. So henceforth, we can say that communication is going to help for any particular superior or subordinate in order to take a proper decision to complete the task. Then communication also helps in planning. When the organization is going to set the objectives, it is going to be communicated to the middle level management. So here the middle level management is going to plan how to carry out the task. By looking into the difficulties that may arise while performing the task, they can plan what are the other alternatives they might be having and selecting the best alternatives among the available alternatives, right. So then it also helps to coordination, right. So every organization is going to have different departments. Each department is going to be assigned with different tasks. When there is a coordination among different departments and different employees, so it is obvious to complete the objectives of the organization easily and also quickly. Communication also helps to improve the leadership qualities within the organization. As a leader, complete guidance from the superior to the employees or the subordinates should be given, and they should know, and the leaders should know how to tackle with each problem and with each individual within the team. So henceforth, we can say communication also plays a very important role in taking up the leadership task. In the organization, it is going to help in order to alter the individual attitudes within a team or within the organization every employees may be having. If there is any kind of misunderstanding between the employees or between the department, so then it can be easily molded with a proper communication. And also lastly, we can say that the communication is also going to help to control the process. So in performing any of the task, manager is going to decide the procedure which needs to be taken in order to complete the task. So he is going to continuously monitor whether the task is getting completed according to what he has planned, he or she has planned. In that particular situation, if manager finds any deviation which is happening with the completion of the task, then immediately they can take action in order to control that particular deviation in the process while performing the task in order to achieve the objectives of the organization goals. So these are some of the importance of communication we can see in any of the organization. Let us move on to the next topic called as coordination. It can be defined as a process of integrating, unification and synchronization of all the activities which might have been carried out in different departments and by different individuals in order to provide a unity of action in order to achieve the objectives set by the organization. So it is integrating the activities which has been carried out by different departments. So it is going to help to combine them in order to achieve the organizational goals. So this is the definition of coordination. Let us take up simple example in order to understand the concept called as coordination in a better manner. In any educational institution, coordination from the faculty as well as the students is very much expected. So faculties are going to teach the subject which they have been allocated with, and they are going to conduct the internals in order to have in order to keep track with the performance of the students. So when they observe any variations in the performance of the student, they can inform it to the student so that students needs to improve their performance in the next internals. So when they are going to give, means when the teachers are going to assign any kind of assignment to the students, so they have to cooperate with the teachers and they have to complete the assignment which has been given to them. So henceforth, if there is a coordination between the faculty members and the teachers in this way, it is going to help both of them to get good marks and get the promotion to the next higher level for the students. If we are going to take up any hospital, when the doctor is going to treat the patient, so there should be cooperation from the patient also. So initially the doctor has to identify what is the problem any particular patient is facing. Once the doctor diagnoses the disease which the patient might be having properly, then they are going to provide the treatment. There should be cooperation from the patient side also in order to follow whatever the steps has been told by the or procedure has been told by the doctor. So, if there is a coordination between the patient and the doctor, then it is possible for the patient to get or to come out of that particular disease. So, this is how coordination is going to play a very important role in any of the organization. As we all know that organization is going to have different departments where every department has to communicate with every other department. So, in order to achieve the goal of the organization. So, here when the organization is going to set the goal, the work is going to be divided and assigned to different departments. All the departments needs to coordinately work in order to achieve the objectives of the organization. Let us have a look into the importance of coordination. The first one is coordination helps or encourages the team spirit. We can observe in any organization there might be or they may be having some kind of conflicts or misunderstanding with the people who will be working within the team or in different departments. When they are going to coordinate with every other team member in a proper manner, then it definitely helps them to encourage the team spirit by minimizing the rivalry or the conflicts which they will be having within the department. When the organization is going to set the objectives for the organization or for the whole organization, this objective is going to be divided into sub-tasks and it is going to get assigned to different departments. So, different department people are going to execute or complete the task which has been assigned to them, and at the end all the departmental activities is going to be gathered or integrated in order to achieve the objectives of the organization. So, here if we are going to consider an example, the production department, it has to have a coordination with the finance department to get the financial help in order to carry out the production process, and also it has to coordinate with the store management department, that is in order to obtain the raw materials which are needed in order to carry out the production process in the organization. This is going to be very helpful. So, it is going to provide the proper direction to all the departments in order to carry out the task completely and efficiently without making any mistakes, as it is going to help to achieve the objectives of the organization. In any organization, motivation is going to play a very important role. The managers or the superiors of any organization is going to motivate their subordinate or employees either in the form of incentives. They can motivate the employees. So when they are going to motivate the employees, it helps the employees to provide or to give their efficient effort in their performance. So it is going to help, or it is going to motivate the employees towards the task which needs to be completed within the organization. Next is coordination makes in order to carry out any particular task within the organization, different types of resources which can be the men and materials needs to be used in the organization. Coordination, if they are going to coordinately work within the organization between any of the department, it is going to definitely help to optimally utilize the resources which are available without wasting the resources which has been given to carry out the task in the organization. Next one is coordination helps to achieve the objectives set by the organization easily and quickly, because the organization is going to provide the employees with all the facilities like machinery or the raw materials or the manpower or whatever the power supply or water supply they are in need of while doing the production in the organization. Henceforth, when they are going to coordinate, means when the employees of different departments are going to work in the organization in a coordinated way, then it is possible to achieve the goals or the objectives set by the organization very easily and quickly. Coordination improves the relations in the organization. When there is a conflict or misunderstanding which may happen between the individuals or between the departments, when they are going to coordinate with each other in order to not to waste the resources as well as the time in order to achieve the organizational goal. So this way the coordination is going to help the employees to build up a good relationship with every other individuals within the team or within the department or between the department or between the superiors. So here they have to have a proper coordination between each other. Definitely then it is going to definitely help them to improve their relations among others in the organization. efficiency is the relationship between the returns and the cost. So here in the organization, if the performance or the efficiency of the employees increases, naturally the returns to the organization is going to be higher, and they may end up with investing lower cost in order to provide the good service or the product to the consumer. So henceforth, proper coordination among the employees within the organization definitely leads to higher efficiency. And the last one is coordination improves goodwill of the organization. When the organization is going to provide quality service or the products to the consumer at lower cost, then it definitely improves the goodwill of the organization. So it helps to get a good image or good name in the market as well as in the corporate world. So this is all about the importance of coordination. I will stop at this point of time and will be continuing in the next class with another topic. Thank you.